Welcome to coverage of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, here covering Audubon Green Wave Baseball. We got Senior Day coming right at you today between the Collingswood Panthers and the Audubon Green Wave. Of course, with the chaotic win versus Haddonfield on Thursday, the Green Wave are looking for a sigh of relief. As versus Collingswood, remember what happened when we played Collingswood? It was 14-2, and then we were all praying for the sweet release of just going home. That's what we hope doesn't happen today. The final score last time was 14-12. Hopefully it's a little bit less complex than that this time. I got my Phillies jersey on, Wilkins number 92, because I got Phillies games tonight and tomorrow, so hey, can we make this quick? Collingswood and Audubon coming up next. Noah Waldron starting for the Panthers and Scott Lynch starting for the Wave. Should be a good one. We'll turn our attention to home plate coming up with senior introductions and senior celebrations and honorees. As Collingswood wraps up their infield and outfield warm-ups, we'll give you our fullest and undivided attention right there. Thank you.
School. Xavier Massey is being escorted by his parents, Lori and Dwight. Some of Xavier's interests include cars, motorcycles, hunting, and fishing. Upon graduation, Xavier plans to attend Rutgers University to pursue a career in exercise science by playing baseball. Again, Xavier Massey. Johnny Rosen is accompanied by his parents, Christina and John. And John spent time he enjoys playing sports, hanging out with friends and family, and watching movies. John is also a member of the Audubon soccer team and travel baseball team. Upon graduation, John plans to attend Stockton University to pursue a degree in exercise science and play baseball. Again, Johnny Pelosi. Isaiah Whitney is joined by his parents, Jackie and Teron. In Isaiah's spare time, he likes to work out, go fishing, play PlayStation 4, hang out with friends, and eat Chick-fil-A. After graduation, Isaiah plans to attend Rutgers University of New Brunswick and play baseball and major in exercise and science. Again, Isaiah Whitney. Aaron Rampara is being escorted by his parents, Jen and Carmine. When not at school, Aaron enjoys hanging out with his friends, playing basketball, and riding jet skis. Aaron was also a member of the Audubon basketball and wrestling team during his time here in Audubon High School. Graduation, Aaron plans to work at his playground this summer. Seniors, Aaron Rampara. Seniors, we wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors. Thank you for being participation this season.
The Green Wave are taking the field. Scott Lynch is going to pitch. The junior right-hander pitches on senior day. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Collingswood Panthers. Batting leadoff and playing center field is Miles DeVincentis. Pitching and batting second is Noah Waldron. Batting third and playing shortstop is Nate Ifey. Batting cleanup and playing first base is Tim Search. Batting in the right field spot and batting fifth is Ben Auerbach. Catching and batting sixth is A.J. Justice. Batting seventh and playing left field is the sophomore Nate Plotz, who gave me a good fist bump before the game. Batting eighth and at the second base position is Andrew Schell. At the ninth spot at the DH is Cole Ladick. Playing third base defensive only is Justin Pilla. There's your lineup for the Collingswood Panthers. Now looking at the other side of the ball, Scott Lynch, number 17, 3 home runs this year for him. He's been quite a force offensively, but he hasn't had the pitching opportunity that he's needed in a decent amount of time. So his last pitching appearance was against Williamsburg in South Carolina. He's only had 3 starts this year versus Kings Christian during the Ralph Shaw against Haddon Heights in the rain-shortened game. He went 3, and he only went 1 inning in the 4-3 loss in relief versus Williamsburg Academy. So we'll see DeVincentis, Waldron, and Ifey come up to the plate at the very least in the first inning here from Hank Greenberg Field on Senior Day. We hope you enjoyed that presentation as much as I did, because guess what? You know, it hits you in waves when you realize that these people are going to be off in colleges all over the nation just starting in a couple of months. And, you know, we're not going to see these guys for a while unless they hop back to the Hank Greenberg. So, you know, you enjoy the high school experience while you last. The first pitch from Lynch to DeVincentis is a ball that's trapped in the dirt by Ryan Zimmer, and we are underway on Senior Day. DeVincentis, a freshman center fielder, also can play first base, according to NJ.com. That one's a heater outside, 2-0. Batting .333 in his inaugural high school year, 15 for 45. 14 singles, just 1 double, and 10 walks. And a stolen base as there's a fly ball looped out to left. Grady and Massey coming in. Actually got past Grady, and Massey had to pick it up. So it's a base hit for Miles DeVincentis, his 16th as a Panther. And this brings up Noah Waldron. Waldron played center field the last time that Collingswood played Audubon. Of course, that was at the classic night park where we spent about 20 minutes trying to figure out where to park. But Waldron, a junior outfielder, very versatile player. What I can say about Collingswood very confidently is that this is a versatile team. You know, they went 3-18 last year. Now, is this year looking any different? That's for the viewer to decide, since right now they're 5-10 with a smaller sample size, but you still got some time left in the regular season for yourself to make that judgment. They're 5-10 as of this tape, and they're 2-6 in Colonial Conference play. It's 1-1 to Waldron, and the pitch is a swing and a miss, a foul tip into Zimmer's glove. As you could hear it off the bat, it's 1-2. Waldron batting .341 this year, 14 for 41, with 9 extra base hits, 8 doubles, and a triple. And on the mound, he's only pitched about 4 innings, but has had a 13.36 ERA. In that small sample size, breaking ball misses the target, and it is 2-2. Last game Audubon played, they won 12-8. Everybody was holding their breath for a long, long time, as probably the star of that game, even in a losing effort, was Matt Ventola, as Waldron goes down on strikes for a swing and a miss. First K for Lynch on the afternoon in his start. Third start of the year for Lynch, by the way, and there's 1 away, as this brings up Nate Ifey. First pitch to Ifey. He is set, and he delivers. That one goes to the backstop, and DeVincentis will go to second base with ease. In fact, he takes a turnaround second, but Zimmer's able to corral it by then. Nate Ifey, I remember that name from the wrestling team when Collingswood played Audubon, and I gotta say, Collingswood was very stacked on wrestling. They beat us by about 20, 30 points. I don't know what they're called in wrestling, but I guess points, yeah. Makes sense. I mean, baseball's really the only sport that it's not called points, you know? Maybe except for hockey, where it's goals. But in baseball, you don't score points, you score runs. Football and basketball, you score points. Tennis, you score points. Golf, you try to not score points. You know, it's... Baseball's one of those exceptions. That one's upstairs, and that's a very quick 4-pitch walk to Nate Ifey, and this brings up the cleanup man for the Panthers, Tim Search. Switched his jersey number recently, was wearing number 27, but then recently switched to number 30, as you can see. Can't tell if that's 30 or 38. It is 30 on the lineup card, so... But he started out the year with number 27. I remember that from the last time that Audubon played Collingswood, as the first pitch is a fastball on the outer corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Tim Search, the junior, though, having a good year regardless of what jersey number he's wearing, batting .311. 14 for 45, just under the mark that DeVincentis has. For the record, 2 runners are on base, first and second, and it's an 0-2 count to Tim Search with 1 away here in the top of the first from Hank Greenberg on Senior Day, here broadcast exclusively on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. That one's down low. DeVincentis thought about it, but he retreats back to second base. Search with 3 extra base hits, no homers, 2 stolen bases, and 2 plunks. The 1-2. Swinging a foul down the right field line. This one will go out of play. By the way, for our viewers, there will be no player interviews today or tomorrow. I have Phillies games both nights, including tonight and tomorrow. So, I know this is something that some people look forward to, but I get that once the game is over, many people do turn off their TVs as there's a swing and a miss. Search goes down on strikes, and this will bring up Ben Auerbach. 2 outs and 2 strikeouts for Scott Lynch on the leisure. But yeah, I know some people, may not watch it live, but some people like to watch it in retrospect, especially like the parents of the players. But basically the deal is going to be home games where Audubon wins, because on the road, players got to get on the bus, and you have those situations like West Deptford where you have a 6-foot-tall fence. It's upstairs to Auerbach, and it's 1-0 to start the AB, but with 2 away. And, you just got to consider the fact that people got places to be. Like when I did my interview with Sean Driscoll, he had to go lift. He had to make it quick. And, sometimes you got to respect that hustle. Ground ball to third, booted by Pinckney, and he is not going to get anybody. So an error on Isaiah Pinckney as he couldn't get that ball in the glove, and Zimmer will go out to talk to Lynch as Rich Horan exchanges his pleasantries from the dugout. Bases are loaded. DeVincentis on third. On second base is Nate Ifey, and on first base is Ben Auerbach, as both Waldron and Search went down on strikes. And this brings up A.J. Justice. A.K.A. Alec Justice. He goes by both. Or at least that's what the lineup cards say, First pitch, swing and a miss on a off-speed, down and away, and it's 0-1. Justice, the catcher and infielder for Collingswood. Obviously catching today. He did so in the previous game on the 12th. I think it was the 12th, right? The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Batting .283 this year. Two extra base hits. 13 for 46. Lynch looking to get out of the jam. Bases loaded for Collingswood. Reminiscent of the game back in April, back in Knight Park. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Lynch knocks down 3 on strikes and leaves them loaded. We go to the bottom of the first. Take a sigh of relief, folks. No score. Everybody's jamming here from Hank Greenberg. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for your home Audubon Green Wave. There's a nice dance mix plays in the background. Leading off and playing center field is Xavier Massey. Batting second and playing a shortstop is Tyler Wiltsey. Batting third and at first base is John Perozzi. Batting cleanup and playing second base is Sean Driscoll. Batting fifth and playing third base is Isaiah Pinckney. At the pitcher and DH position will be Scott Lynch. Batting seventh and catching will be Ryan Zimmer. Playing left field and batting eighth will be Charlie Grady. And batting in right field, or rather batting in the ninth position, in right field is Zach Beebe. So here's Massey. For Noah Waldron this year, this has been a bit of a rocky junior year for the right-hander Waldron. A 13.36 ERA in 2 appearances. His first was on May 3rd at Haddon Township in a 16-8 loss for Collingswood. He only pitched 15 pitches and walked the only 3 batters that he faced. For Haddon Heights, he actually got the start and pitched 3 2/3, giving up 8 runs, 7 of them earned, 2 strikeouts, and that's where he stands. So he has only thrown 90 pitches in the entirety of the 2022 season, and if his first 2 appearances were a precursor to anything that we may see today, maybe it will entail possibly Audubon's 10th straight win. Knock on wood, of course. That one's outside to Xavier Massey, and the bottom of the first is underway. It's 1-0 to Massey. The senior center fielder, of course, introduced with his father Dwight and his mother having a very good senior year, which is why, of course, he's going to Rutgers. It's 2-0. Remember, Massey's batting .415, which for a leadoff man, honestly, is pretty unprecedented. I mean, look, in Major League Baseball, by the way, the count is 3-0. The last guy to bat .400 in Major League Baseball was Ted Williams. That was before World War II. There's a swing and a foul down the right field line. So it's 3-1. And Pat Talley's going to run out to wherever that ball landed, probably somewhere on Walnut, and retrieve it. It's 3-1 to Massey. Massey having an explosion in his bat in 2022. 3 homers and 12 extra base hits as a ground ball is foul and the count is full. 9 doubles, 3 triples. He's had a couple of them here as well. And like we said, 3 homers. Count is full, and the payoff from Waldron to Massey is a breaking ball that misses low, and Massey will take ball 4. His 13th walk of his senior year, and this brings up Tyler Wiltsey. We've only seen 2 of Massey's home runs this year. One of them came against Beekman Town, which is an upstate New York team that Audubon played while in Myrtle Beach. His first came against, I believe, Haddon Heights. And my assumption is incorrect. It was remember the 14-12 Collingswood game. He homered in that. He was one of 3 Green Wave to homer during that game, and that one is upstairs, and wouldn't you know, that's stolen base number 17 for Xavier Massey. He continues to rack them up. And considering the fact that he's had 13 walks, and that was his 66th at-bat of the year, the fact that he has 16 stolen bases this year, actually, no, that made it 17. If my math is right, then that means, I heard that. If my math is right, then that means that in 24% of the times that Xavier Massey has come up to the plate, he has not only gotten on base, but he's also stolen a base. And this is why he's going D1, folks. It's 2-1 to the freshman Tyler Wiltsey. Second pickoff attempt, but nothing doing. Nothing more than a lingering threat, really. Inside corner, called a strike, and it's 2-2. Wiltsey very much excelling in his freshman year, 348 average, a homer, 12 walks, and here's an interesting stat. He's been hit by a pitch 6 times. A little bit higher than average. Those are Josh Harrison numbers as a ground ball to short, sliding stop, and I think they got him at third. Did they? Did they not? Appears not. So Wiltsey is safe at first, and Massey is safe at third. Everybody's safe all around, and this brings up John Perosi. Actually, hold that. The umpires will conference. That was a close play. The shortstop, Ify, had a sliding stop to his right, and it looks like the call will hold, although I don't know how you can even... If a call like that is ever overturned by just hearsay, then I think the head coach that's on the opposing end of that is going to end up having a Lou Piniella-style fit, if you think about it. Because, like, what did you see? What did you say? Well, we don't have any video evidence, so... It's why Major League Baseball did it in 2014, but I get that because it's high school, you don't have that kind of budget and that kind of space. What in the... Okay. So Wiltsey steals second base because the second baseman cut off the throw down. So I guess they were trying to squash any doubts that Wiltsey would steal the base. But here you go. Still no outs, and wow, that was a great play by Justice. He, remember... he leapt to his feet and jumped to save that ball from going to the backstop. Considering the fact that the backstop is very shallow here at Audubon and at Hank Greenberg Field, it's not very deep, so not many runners do end up scoring on wild pitches. It is 3-0 to, I almost said to Xavier, to John Perosi. Perosi, as you heard Steve Bellis say during the senior introductions, is going to Stockton University to play baseball. I believe Stockton somewhere up in central Jersey. Not exactly sure, but it's ball 4 to Perosi, so this brings up Sean Driscoll with the bases loaded. Driscoll's only got 1 homer this year in the hitter-friendly Knight Park. Like we said, 3 Green Wave hitters homered against Collingswood in the first game. Xavier Massey, Isaiah Pinckney, and Sean Driscoll. Pinckney and Massey have had several homers since. Driscoll, that was his lone savior right there, and that ball hit somebody. Home plate umpire is going out to give a new baseball to the pitcher, Noah Waldron. I think that either hit the catcher or it hit the umpire. Everybody seems okay, though, so no harm, no foul. 0-1 to Driscoll. Driscoll, of course, being one of the most versatile multi-sport athletes that I've seen in a while. That one's a curveball that is a strike. It is 0-2. Batting .316 in 2022 and a .368 slugging percentage. 18 for 57. A homer and 6 walks. And that one is inside. It's 1-2. He had to bend down. He was basically in a full squat to avoid that ball hitting him. He was very much squatting down to an egregious extent, as there's a swing and a looper that will go foul. And it'll just miss the Collingswood visiting grandstands. Keep in mind, tomorrow we do have a game scheduled for Audubon. Cinnaminson is coming to town. 10-6 in 2022 for Cinnaminson out of the Patriot Conference. There's a swing and a looper out to center. And coming in is Nate Plotz, and he dropped the ball. 1 run's going to come in, and everybody holds up there. And in fact, the ball got away. Nobody's at first base. So that'll bring home another run, and it's 2-0 on what I would call a double whammy, a double error, if you will. An E7 on Plotz and an E8, on the center fielder, DeVincentis, for throwing it to no man's land, unless Casper the Friendly Ghost is the new first baseman. Runners will be... Okay, so scoring update. Because of the fact that it's a 2-base error and the ball went out of play, 3 runs came in to score on that error. And the only runner standing is Sean Driscoll on third. So an unusual play, but both outfielders make a goof, make a gaff, a goof and a gaff, as it is 1-0 to Isaiah Pinckney. I mean, that was just that was a comedy of errors, if you will. Breaking ball eclipses the zone, and it's 1-1. I mean, the left fielder dropped the ball on what seemed like a regular looper, and then the center fielder threw it. I don't know if Tim Search wasn't at where he was supposed to be, or that ball's going to get away, but Driscoll holds. He definitely thought about it. He was stuck in a frozen state for a little while there. It is 2-1, as the umpire announces audibly. Still no outs, and a runner on third. That's basically all she wrote for now. It's 2-1. 3-0 Audubon, and 3-1. I was surprised that 3 runs came around there, but I was more focusing on the fact that the ball was just unattended to. That's ball 4 to Pinckney. A baseball is a lot like a small child, can cause a lot of damage when left unattended. Here's Scott Lynch.
Or a husband.
Oh, boy. Yeah. You're going to have all the wine moms commenting about that one.
Hey, I don't even drink wine.
Here's Scott Lynch. You know what I saw recently? I believe it was at the Tokyo Dome. They actually sell wine in cans. Now, I believe it's 0-1 to Lynch, and they're scoring it 0-2 on the scoreboard, but with runners on the corners, it's not going to matter as there's a swing and a fly ball. Left field, and that one's getting down. That one's going to roll to DeVincentis. Coming in is Driscoll. Coming around is Pinckney, and it's an RBI double for Scott Lynch, and it's a 5-run first. This is shades of 2021 Collingswood right here. And Lynch will be pinch run for at second by Charlie Copsetta. But again, Copsetta's the only base runner active, so runner at second. And still no outs.
They're using the same mitts as the Major League.
Yeah, the ones that go over your hands. I guess they're used for when...
You're stealing the base.
Yeah, so that you don't, get your hand spiked, as they like to call it. Also, I saw that Isaiah Pinckney, when Steve was announcing his interests, that he plays PlayStation 4, so I do formally challenge him to a game of Diamond Dynasty. I think I can clear him with a mercy roll, to be honest. It's 1-0 to Zimmer. 7th batter of the inning, still no outs. 5 runs have come across for the Green Wave. And that one's in the dirt. Capseta takes a step towards third, but retreats. It's 2-0. Zimmer's been showing a lot of power to the opposite field this year. Over 50% of his extra base hits go to center field or right field. There's a line shot in the left. Prove me wrong. There's a base hit that goes to Plotz, who himself boots it. Going back to third is Capseta, who had some trouble rounding the base and getting back. It's a base hit for Zimmer, and the runners are on the corners. I wonder if they're going to take out Waldron here. I mean, I only say that because... Oh, here we go. So Zimmer's going to be pinch run for by Jack Dempsey. So I guess Damian Broadhurst is unavailable for today or something, because usually Broadhurst in most cases is the man for getting pinch running duties done. Usually it's Capseta second and then maybe Dempsey third, but with what they're running right now, maybe Broadhurst is out of the question or whatever that may be. He's had a couple of pitching appearances this year, one in South Carolina, and I believe one versus West Deptford as well, back at Union Field. Swinging a check swing by Charlie Grady, and the home plate umpire says that he went around, so it's 0-1. Still no outs. I'm very surprised. I'm liking it, yeah. Means we might have more time to get over to Philadelphia, but... That one is smothered at home plate, and Jack Dempsey gets himself over to second base. So 2 runners are in scoring position for Grady. They have, unless there's a unconventional double play, it's almost guaranteed that we'll bat around. Not something you see every day.
Unless we get a triple play.
That happens too. Maybe less so in high school, but Charlie Grady has struck out, so this will bring up Zach Beebe. So triple plays out of the question.
I wonder when the last time there was a triple play in the MLB.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah?
I mean, they're not incredibly uncommon. I think there's a couple every year, really.
Yeah, but a couple every year. That's not that many, though.
No, it's not. It's just like an immaculate inning, you know?
Yeah.
That one's down low. It's 1-0. Because unless, fans at home that have been fans of the Phillies for a while might recognize the name Eric Bruntlett. You recognize that name?
No, sorry.
He was acquired in the Brad Lidge trade back in 2007 with guys like Michael Bourne and I forget who else was acquired in that trade. But Brad Lidge and what's his name? Eric Bruntlett, yes. They went over to Philly in that trade with Houston, as that's a 4-pitch walk to Zach Beebe. So this is giving shades of the Kings Christian Bishop Eustace game, where it was a 13-run first inning. Remember that?
Yeah, let's just hope they don't almost blow it like Collingswood last time.
Well, like almost Audubon blew it, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
14-2 game turns into 14-12. But Brad Klein's going to meet with his pitcher. Whether they take him out, I don't know. But let's continue the story. So Bruntlett, in a game versus the Mets, I believe in April of 2009, back when Citi Field was just getting opened, he had an unassisted triple play to end the game. That's only happened twice in history. Once back in the 50s with somebody on the Yankees. I forget his name. Might have been Jimmy Pearsall. And Eric Bruntlett. Now, Bruntlett was never like a star or anything, but what he did is he caught the ball at second for the out, he tagged second base for the out, and then tagged the runner, Daniel Murphy, for the third out. So it was an unassisted triple play. The ball never left his glove. Now, sometimes triple plays require a lot of skill and execution. Like if you have a runner on first and second and nobody out, and you roll a grounder to third, but it has to be hit perfectly for the third baseman to be able to tap the third base bag, throw it down the second, and throw it down the first, and you have to hope that the batter that's leaving the box is slow enough to where you have enough time to execute that kind of play. Bases are juiced for Massey as the first pitch goes back to third. Throw to first is in time, but the run comes in to score on an RBI groundout, and it is 6-0. 2 outs, okay, yeah. Oh, right, because Charlie Grady struck out. My apologies. This is what I like to see. Umpires are very audible today. You're able to hear them very well, so I don't have to look over the scoreboard 100% of the time. Here's Tyler Wiltsey. Sometimes an umpire with a loud mouth is a good one if you can hear them. Popped up third base side, and that one will go out of play.
Your research team has found that there are 15 players that have had an unassisted triple play.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean unassisted triple plays in total. I meant unassisted triple plays to end the game.
Oh, to end the game.
Because as Drupal
That's pretty rare.
As Drupal Cabrera had one back, I think, in 2007 with Cleveland. That one I remember. I think White Sox had one about 5 years back. It's one of those rare feats. But things like the no-hitter, they're getting increasingly more common. That's the 1-1 to Wiltsey as they swing in a foul ball down the right field line. Please miss our car. Oh, that was close. That was too close for comfort, Tyler. Hit it that way. Hit it to center. Hit it to left. Just do not hit the DWB mobile. Or whatever you're going to call it. There you go. That's the right direction. No, but there have been 300-something no-hitters. There was one on Sunday. The Reds threw a no-hitter and lost. That's happened a couple times. Happened to the Red Sox in the 60s. Ground ball. That one shoots through in the left. Going to Plotz again. A run is in. Perosi. Coming in is Beebe. He scores. And it's a 2-run single that makes it 8-0. This is... wow. And wow, they are keeping them in the game. His ERA is going to skyrocket. Is somebody hitting a cowbell out there? Oh, it's a flagpole. Okay.
And you were correct. Eric Bruntlett was the last player to do an unassisted.
Hold that thought. There's a line drive to center field over the head of DeVincentis. It rolls to the wall. 1 run is in. Wiltsey's coming around, and he scores. 9-0. RBI double for John Perosi. And now we're mostly wiped clean as Brad Klein comes out to the mound. They already had somebody warming up, but Noah Waldron is very quickly yanked after recording 2/3 of an inning. We'll continue that story when we come back. Pitching change from Hank Greenberg. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. It is 9-0 Green Wave. 9-0 Green Wave. Ryan Shell will try to avoid the shelling as the first pitch is outside to Sean Driscoll at 1-0. Haven't seen anything like this in a while. 9-run first for the Wave.
Liking it though.
At least in the normal blowouts, it was a slow buildup, but the Green Wave have had no less than, let's see, 9 plus 4, that's 13 men coming to the plate. And yes, I had to do that in my head. Do not judge. Math is not my strongest subject.
Statistics are.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I still need like an online calculator to calculate ERA and stuff. There's a little looper that's foul off the barrel of the bat. Goes over the apparatus behind home plate. Breaking ball upstairs. A.J. Shell with a 2.22 average at the plate. However, a 14 flat ERA. 2 appearances this year, one versus West Deptford, where he pitched 2/3 of an inning. He's only had 1 full inning in 2022 competition for the junior catcher / utility man. Like I said, Collingswood is a very versatile team, so you might have guys with primary positions, but anybody that can play infield can also play outfield, and vice versa. This one's popped up, but it again goes out of play and bounces off of a light pole. Tough at bat. It's 3-2, full count to Sean Driscoll. That one's upstairs. Make that 14 men that will come to the plate as Isaiah Pinckney will get another at bat. Might as well be the Green Wallopers at this point. I mean,
It's early though.
it is early. However, I mean, we had a 12 run lead when we almost blew that.
Yeah.
So what? Either Collingswood is our kryptonite or that was a fluke. And I'm willing to say, considering that the, quote, freshman array started that game and there were a lot of reserves in that day, I wouldn't be surprised to call it the latter, the saying that was a fluke.
I hope so.
You hope so. Because it seems like since Audubon's won 9 straight, that was just early season jitters, really. Swinging a pop-up on a 2-0, and it's foul. It's 2-1. A couple of those hit out towards that area. The cross-section between Walnut and I think Siddercroft, I don't know. Whatever that street is where the Francis J. Ward Rec Center is. But the 2-1 from Shell is upstairs, and it's 3-1. I'd like to see Pinckney give one a ride, but a man can dream. 3-1 from Shell to Pinckney. It's one high and deep to right, but coming in as the second baseman who makes the catch. Hard to see in the sun, but the inning is over. 14 men come to the plate. 9 of them come in to score. We can finally take a seat and go to the second inning. 9-0 Green Wave. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Quick Pit Podcast, run by my good friends Nate and Connor. Out of their studio in central Pennsylvania, it's all the news, information, and hot takes you need in the world of motorsports, from NASCAR to Formula One to everything in between, including that new e-scooter series that I want to watch. That seems real interesting. Looks like real-life Mario Kart. But this weekend was Kansas Speedway as Kurt Busch got his win with his 5th different team and 4th different manufacturer, getting the first full race-length win with 23XI Racing, which for you non-motorsports fans is the team owned by Michael Jordan. So all of that and more. Zane Smith, of course, getting the win down in the Truck Series for Front Row, Bob Jenkins' team. It is interesting, the celebrities that are involved down there. Michael Jordan, Floyd Mayweather, Pitbull. They all own NASCAR teams. If you told me that 10 years ago, I would have called you crazy. First pitch down to Nate Plotz is down low, and it's 1-0. You know, we were talking about, there we go, foul ball, 1-1. We were talking about rare feats in baseball. You know, unassisted triple plays, no-hitters. They're getting rarer. Like I said, you know, Jared Weaver, who was the guy that, couldn't throw over 88 to save his life. There's a swing and a drive out to right. Hit decently well. And Massey has it at the convergence of 3 outfielders and 2 lost hats. There's one away. There's one. And there's 2. I believe that first one was BB's and the second one was Massey's, although they all come flying off. I will say for the record that I never have problems with my Audubon hat that the team gave me. I don't ever have problems with them flying off my head.
You got a big head.
That's true.
I can attest to that.
Ground ball out to second, throw to first is in time, 2 away. So here's Cole Ladick, the DH. I mean, when I wear fitted hats from Lids, I used to be 7.5 for the longest time. I have 20 to 30 fitted hats that are now too small because they're 7 5/8. So either get the flexible ones or get snapbacks, the adjustable snapbacks. Because I have now realized that most of my fitted hats are going to strangle my cranium. So it's 1-1. But Jared Weaver and Jose Arredondo threw a combined no-hitter versus the Dodgers back in 2008, and they lost. But because it was an 8-inning no-hitter, it didn't count on the books. Now, there is a situation where no-hitters that are losing on the losing side, they do count. But we'll continue that story in a couple minutes. Going down on strikes is Cole Ladick, 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Scott Lynch. The 4th strikeout for Lynch. Have a hard time keeping track. We go to the bottom of the second, 9-0 Green Wave. A.J. Shell got out of the first inning for Collingswood, and he goes out for a second inning of work. We're here from the bottom of the second from Greenberg. The Green Wave lead 9-0 over the Collingswood Panthers. That must have been a 25-30 minute first inning, as there's a line drive in the left, a base hit. Plotz brings it in, and Scott Lynch has a single, his second of the day. And here is Ryan Zimmer. Had a base hit of his own last time up, and it appears that maybe Broadhurst. No, Copsett is coming back out, so I guess no Damian Broadhurst today. Unless he makes a sneaky appearance, and I don't see it, but
Might have what you had last week.
that's true. Stuff's going around, folks. It's that time of year.
Darn kids.
First pitch, upstairs. Justice has to remove himself from the crouch to catch that one, and it's 1-0. On deck for the Green Wave will be Charlie Grady, runner on first. Nobody out. Running is Copsetta, and the throw down is in time. Great throw from Justice and a wonderful pop time. Great combination produces an out. It's one away. So you can wipe the bases clean. Nobody's active, so. But it is 2-0 to Ryan Zimmer. He has to tighten up a little bit. It's 3-0. This is where I'll get green lighted here. Probably will get a strike right down Broadway. Exactly. And there's a strike, 3-1. So it happens, you know. You don't really see 4-pitch walks unless the fourth pitch is so egregious that you can't call it a strike without getting angry emails from parents, you know. Although in this day and age, it seems like when people are unhappy with an umpire, they don't send him an email, they just get right in his face, from what I've seen. Ground ball. Hit softly. Throw to first. In time. 2 away. Sorry, my camera was a little slow on that one. I got lost, and it's two outs in the bottom of the second. Here's Charlie Grady. Struck out his last time up. Oh, that one went to the backstop. He raised his bat with one hand to avoid it. I don't know why he let go, but it's 1-0. Phillies start a 7-game homestand this week after a 7-game road trip on the West Coast. They play the San Diego Padres. I'll be in attendance tonight and tomorrow. Blake Snell and
Friday.
Oh, right, and Friday with a couple of buddies of mine versus the Dodgers. Blake Snell and Zach Wheeler, the starting pitchers for tonight, as Charlie Grady swung at a pitch very high, very, very high. Had to be registered by the FAA, but it's 1-2. Gets a little justice for himself with a ground ball to second. Can he beat it out? He cannot, and the side is retired, unfortunately. Well, A.J. Shell gets into his own. Didn't think he'd have that good of relief, but hey, he proved me wrong. 1, 2, 3, they go down. Except for Scott Lynch, who had a base hit. So 4 batters come to the plate. Scott Lynch goes back out. We go to the third. 9-0 Green Wave. Scott Lynch going to his third inning of work, as this broadcast is brought to you in part by Amato Brothers. Great food and great service for a great price down on the White Horse Pike in Oakland, just minutes from all attractions in Oakland, Audubon, and all surrounding towns. So whether you're just stopping in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or even a beer on tap, they have everything available, everything that you may need, all for a reasonable price. So check it out today, right on the White Horse Pike, across the street from Aunt Bertha's Kitchen and next to the Dunkin' Donuts. Check it out today, Amato Brothers. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. We were just talking about the unassisted triple plays in between the inning. There have been 15. Last one was in 2009, which was what we were talking about with Eric Bruntlett, as that one is high and away. 3-1 to Justin, not to Justin Pilla, to Miles DeVincentis, because Pilla's only playing defensively. He is not in the batting order because of the fact that you have a DH and a pitcher. Kind of like what Audubon does sometimes. They put in a guy for defense only. I've seen a couple times Charlie Copsetta in left field, a couple times J.J. Stockland in left field. But DeVincentis walks, and this brings up Noah Waldron. As is typical, it seems like Scott Lynch has had a little bit of trouble with the top half of the order compared to the bottom half. But who knows? This is just a second time through, so maybe a fluke. But considering that DeVincentis has reached first both times, then it kind of sets a precedent. It's 1-0 to Noah Waldron, the junior starter who got yanked after 2 outs, 2/3 of an inning. Swing and a miss. 1-1. This one in 2008 was Asdrubal Cabrera. I don't know why I said 2006, but Cabrera played a short time on the Phillies. That's why you might remember him, because we were talking about that, and he was,
I forgot he was with us for a little while.
As a trade deadline acquisition in 2018, he actually had a walk-off home run against the Cubs. That was like at the end of the rebuild, though, because that was before Harper, that was before Wheeler. That one's outside. 2-2. It was before all those guys, you know? Like, a lot of our talent was still homegrown. But when the Phillies were at their worst, like 2015, 2016, like every day was almost like, there's a fly ball to right. Caught by BB. One away. Almost every day watching Phillies baseball back in like 2013 to 2018 was like painful. The Phillies almost lost 100 games in 2015, but they were saved by none other than Ichiro Suzuki pitching on the last day of the year versus the Marlins. But like looking back at 2016, 2017, our catcher was Cameron Rupp. Our first baseman was Tommy Joseph. Second base, Cesar Hernandez was pretty good, but in his early years, he really hadn't gotten into his own. And after Chase Utley was traded, it was just a combination of guys. Like Howie Kendrick was there for a year, 2016. Emmanuel Burris. And I will admit that I have called Emmanuel Burris Hannibal Burris a couple times, but no relation. Shortstop was Freddie Galvis, which again wasn't bad, but after you traded away Jimmy Rollins, it kind of depletes the position. Third base was a mess. There's a ground ball to second, throw to first, and he is safe at first. So DeVincentis is out, but Nate Ify gets to first base, and so runners on first and 2 away. This brings up Tim Search. Third base was, remember 2013? I know it was 9 years ago now, but Michael Young was the third baseman. Longtime Texas Ranger, and then in the very slow downfall of the Phillies, Michael Young was the third baseman. Then it was Cody Ashe for a little while, couple years. And then Michael Franco, that one goes to the backstop. Zimmer's got no shot of getting that. And going to second is Ify. So passed ball, and he moves up in the scoring position. The outfield was just as messy. Cody Ashe did sometimes play left field. Remember Cameron Perkins? Okay. He was on the team for a little while, 2017. He was homegrown. I believe he was from the Philadelphia area.
I remember Cody Ashe.
Cody Ashe, yeah. Swing and a miss.
Seemed like he had so much potential and it just fizzled.
Same thing with Tommy Joseph, too. But now Tommy Joseph is absolutely living it up down in Korea.
Over in Korea?
Yes, over in Korea. Excuse me. He's on the NC Dinos, my KBO team of choice. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Center field, Odubel Herrera is still here, so I guess for both good and bad. Then right field, we were talking about Jeff Francoeur. He was the batter during the Eric Bruntlett unassisted double play in 2009. By the way, the 2-2 pitch is outside. It's 3-2. The throwback to second does nothing. The pitching was even worse. Mario Hollins is a name that comes to mind. Jerome Williams, the longtime Cardinal and Giant. Jeremy Hellickson. How about Sean O'Sullivan, the guy that got hit in the neck with a ball that came back to him and he just didn't care? Got hit right in the throat. That's another guy. And then, of course, back in the days when Jonathan Papelbon was our closer. That's ball 4.
Papelbon.
Yeah, Papelbon. If you thought Hector Neris was bad, you have not seen Jonathan Papelbon. Although he was very successful with the Red Sox, but by the time that he got to Philadelphia, he had just aired out, really. Runners on first and second and 2 away. This brings up Ben Auerbach as he pops up the first pitch. Perosi going over. He called everybody off, and he drops the ball. Lost it in the sun, I think.
Yeah.
That is right there. That's why I have a hat on. It is up there. I can see like almost every fan either has sunglasses on or has something to protect them from that because it's a bright, bright sun out there.
Your booth crew has the umbrella.
We do. We have a little umbrella propped up so that our equipment doesn't get too hot. But the 0-1 to Auerbach with Search on first as there's a line shot to Wiltsey. Flips it to second, and it's in time. Scott Lynch has left 5 men on base, but he continues to keep it scoreless for Collingswood. We go to the bottom of the third, 9-0 Green Wave. First pitch is a ball to the hitter, Zach Beebe. Charlie Grady was the last out, and he lines this one in the right for a base hit. Nice one, Zach. Oh, we got a little spider that joined us. To Xavier Massey. First pitch is outside. Take a look at this thing. Right on our table, right there. How about that? Look at that. That's incredible. Wow. He calls time, and we'll go back to the action. Give me 1 second, because for somebody that does not have arachnophobia, I know somebody who does and would very much... it just got on me. Hold on. Popped up first base side, caught by the first baseman, Tim Search, and we have lost the spider. We have lost the spider. It was on my finger, then it fell off, and we do not know where it is. So there's one away. The spider.
Oh, no.
It was on our table. The spider was on our table, and it was on my person, and then it fell off, and now I think it's somewhere in the weeds of the grass. But runner on first. It's BB.
If it gets on me, the people in West Deptford will hear
Oh,
me.
there it is. It's on the bag. Hold on. Hold my mic for me.
Yeah. It's on your hand.
Got it.
And that's Dan 1, Spider nothing.
Well, that does make it 10-0 on a double by Wiltsey. However, we somewhat missed it because we were sacrificing a spider. Here's John Perozzi. You can't say that I don't have fun at what I consider my job. You can't say I don't have fun. Because we had a little scare before the game because the spider was on this yellow outfield fence.
It was coming for me.
And then that one's popped up again, first base side. Foul. But, I'm like, oh, it's not going to be a big deal. And then it came back, and luckily you were away, but...
I told you it was coming. They know me.
Check swing. And he did not go. Wow. I thought even if he didn't go, that would have been a strike. So it's 2-1. To get you caught up to speed. Runner on second base. 10-0 Green Wave. Popped up. That's more than a pop-up. That's a can of corn to right. Caught. Throw to third. Will do nothing. And Perozzi tags him up. And with 2 away, here's Sean Driscoll. So runner on third and 2 down. A run in the third has now put us at the threshold where it is 10-0. So if Collingswood does not score for the next 2 innings, then we'll be going home early. We'll be headed to Philadelphia early. I mean, the time right now, as it's 1-0, is 5:01. So it is 1-1. Swinging a pop-up right side. Going out for it is... It's a dead ball. It hit a tree and a car. Both Search and Auerbach went out for it. There's a fly ball to right center. DeVincentis is there, and the side is retired. Audubon gets the 10th run home, easy for me to say, that they've been looking for. We go to the top of the fourth, 10-0 Green Wave. First pitch is a ground ball bunt that goes foul to A.J. Justice, the first batter of the top of the fourth. Green Wave lead it 10-0, looking for their 10th straight win. I'm just surprised that ever since the Green Wave took those Sprinter vans back home from Myrtle Beach, they must have picked up... Oh, that one's wild. That one had to be registered as a aircraft, as that one's very well back to the backstop, and it's 1-1. But they must have picked up some magic fairy dust or whatever on their way back, because they haven't lost since they came back from Myrtle Beach. You know, we all thought that game versus West Deptford was a sure win. Then the error at second base ties it up, and then in the bottom of the 12th, Isaiah Pinckney sends us all home. And there's a swing and a miss to make that 5 Ks for Lynch. Justice goes down on strikes, and he whacks the end of the bat onto the ground as this brings up Nate Plotz. That one's down low to Plotz. Plotz, a former Oakland Cougar. Had a couple of years with them. I believe his last year was my first year. He was a good lineman. It's 1-1. If you do rewind the footage for my research team, if you rewind the footage back to when you were away, I do show the spider on camera.
Any more trauma. It was in my prenup that my husband would kill all the bugs.
And then I ended up taking that role.
Yeah.
It's 2-2.
You're home more.
That's true. It's 2-2 to Nate Plotz. Andrew Shell is on deck. Swing and a miss. Make that 6. Scott Lynch has 6 strikeouts, and there's 2 away. And this brings up Andrew Shell, as Wade Geis is going to meet with him. At least I think. No, Lynch is done, and here comes the big fella. Aaron Rampolla is going to pitch. He's getting some cheers out there. His family's here. Probably because it's senior day, he's getting this opportunity. But I've never been able to say, now pitching, Aaron Rampolla. So best of luck to him, as this is his first high school appearance as a senior for the Audubon Green Wave. We'll be right back after this. Top of the fourth, Aaron Rampolla. He will pitch, and the first one that he throws is a line drive base hit. As they always say, sometimes you start off to humble beginnings, and the first pitch that Rampolla throws in 2022 is a base hit. Unless he had an appearance in Myrtle Beach, which I don't think he did. If he did, then I made a big whoop out of nothing. But that's a base hit for Andrew Shell, and this will bring up Cole Ladick, the DH. Yeah, no, he did not. Throw down to second. Is in time. Not in time, excuse me. So he immediately moves up to scoring position.
My eyes said out, but I heard safe.
0-1. That one bounces on 2 hops to the plate. 1-1. That one rolls away, and Shell will go to third. He rounds third and holds up there, so it's 3-1 to Ladick. I mean, whatever runs you give up, you have to make up if you want to go home early. Oh, that was upstairs. Xavier didn't agree with the call, that's for sure. We go back to the top of the order. Ow, with Miles DeVincentis. It hurt. Is that a left-handed hitting center fielder? Will bat with 2 away. And 2 runners on the corners. Breaking ball, strike 1. Good one. Looked more like an off speed, but it counts the same. Fouled back to the screen. It's 0-2. You know, I was talking about in the first inning about the Tokyo Dome selling wine in cans, and honestly, that just brings me back to the story of Yankee Stadium back in April, where we were seeing people ordering like 2-3 beers at 11:30 in the morning. That was a couple weeks ago by now, but that's in the dirt. 1-2. Yeah, I got a packed week. Phillies tonight, Phillies tomorrow, Phillies Friday. And Audubon baseball, I believe, today, tomorrow, and Thursday. There is a game on Thursday? Yeah. Pretty sure, yeah. It's the home stretch, really. It's 2-2. You know, like summer, for example, the summer break, summer recess, whatever, is only 8 weeks long. But it feels a lot longer because you're having, those experiences and everything of the sort. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Rampolla with the strikeout. And he keeps it scoreless. Zach Beebe lost his hat again. But high fives all around from the dugout. He got it done. I hope he gets another inning. He deserves it. You heard me, Rich. He deserves it. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 10-0 Green Wave. Going to the bottom of the fourth, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Crafty Couture DIY Studio, located on Merchant Street, just blocks away from the Speedy Mart and Antonino's Pizza. DIY Chalk Studio with pre-made home decor ready to be purchased and brought home. And, of course, a lot of Audubon pride. And, of course, if you're a senior in high school or if your child is a senior in high school, there's a whole lot of graduation merchandise that you can grab as well, all the way from signs to banners to everything in between. So check her out on Facebook for more information, or you can even schedule a private class to paint your own and do your own sort of DIY studioing.
It's also great to have a party.
Very true as well. Popped up, first base side, and that one is caught. So that one is caught at first base by the new first baseman, Miles DeVincentis. Noah Waldron is now in center field, but yeah, check her out on Facebook. Very reliable brand. Crafty Couture DIY Studio and more is the official name on Facebook. Swinging a foul down the right field line. Look out. 0-1 to Lynch. 2 base hits today for the junior first baseman who started. Went 3 2/3, and then Rampolla closed it out. You can see Rampolla getting ready. I think he's going to be pitching again. That one's fouled back to the screen. Swinging a fly ball down the right field line. And this one will go out of play. Still 0-2. This is an exclusive broadcast of Green Wave Baseball and Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want to know what my favorite pizza topping is, please drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. By the way, the answer is pineapple. And that is very controversial. But any serious sponsorship inquiries should also go to that email. Thank you for your support of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Sometimes you got to have fun with it. You know, up 10-0. Some people are very, very polarized and very, very passionate about their love or hatred of pineapple on pizza. I have never seen a person that's indifferent. And that one hit him. Notice how Scott Lynch, the man that is made of steel, got hit in the shoulder and just, flipped the bat to first. I mean, it probably didn't even sting. That is how strong this guy is. He's got to be like 6'3". I don't even know how much he benches, but that's a strong fella, and that's why he's the starting quarterback, you know? Didn't know what was going on there, but we'll get back to it. Ryan Zimmer bats with a runner on first and 1 away as that one is outside. 1-0. Again, next broadcast of Green Wave Baseball will be tomorrow, same time, same place, versus Cinnaminson. Cinnaminson sounds like a rejected name for a Spice Girl. Ground ball to third. Go to second for 1 on the first. And he dropped the ball. So Lynch is retired. Excuse me. Ryan Zimmer is safe at first, and this brings up Charlie Grady. So 2 away. And Zimmer will be pinch run for by Jack Dempsey. All smiles today for Jack. Talking to first base coach Jacobowski. I know Coach Inkster still said that he wants to buy me a dinner this week. I still haven't decided what that will be. Whether that's Amato Brothers or Los Jalapenos, one of my favorite spots in Oakland.
I think you should make him go to Los Jalapenos and challenge him.
Hey,
With some jalapeno poppers.
I'm not the only one. That restaurant is hopping every day. It's always like a 20, 25-minute wait for pickup. And
Free plug.
right. And they don't even sponsor us,
They should.
I mean, like, in all seriousness, you're allowed to advertise stuff that's, unless it's contractually written, it's allowed to advertise stuff that you like. Not just stuff that you're, monetarily obligated to do. Bless you. 1 and 2 to Grady. Upstairs, 2 and 2. I mean, in all seriousness, we have a great relationship with all of our sponsors, and some of them have personal connections to us. Like Christina Amato. She's our family realtor. She helped us get into the current place we have now in Audubon. Swing and a miss, by the way.
We eat at Amato's every week.
Yeah, and Doug Does Anything helped refurbish our kitchen and bathroom back before the new year. So we'll continue that when we get back. We go to the top of the 5th. 10-0. Audubon looking to hang on for a mercy rule victory. If my vision is correct, Noah Waldron leads off the top of the 5th. And yes, he will. Aaron Rampolla looking to close it out in a 10-0 ball game. So if he can hang on, there's a line shot to left. And Charlie Copsetta is there. 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 down. This brings up Nate Ifey. Again, for those that are just tuning in, there will be no interview today or tomorrow. Got Phillies games both of those days. So we're already packing up some of our stuff early.
Hoping for an early exit.
Yeah. I already folded up my red chair, and there's a swing and a pop-up. He's making it quick. And Wiltsey makes the catch. 2 pitches, 2 outs. And this is why I said at the beginning of the season that Aaron Rampolla deserves more service time. And he deserves more playing time. Because you see what he's doing? It doesn't matter that it's a 10-0 game. He's got it. Can he make it a 3-for-3? Here's Tim Search, first pitch. Okay, that one's a little low, but it's 1-0. Hey, that's all good. I mean, Aaron Rampolla, good acquaintance of mine. Very nice guy. Very, very good personality. Very much always a positive figure in the room. And this is, why I speak of him so highly. It's 2-0 to Tim Search. As there's a fly ball to center field. Going back is Massey, and it is off the wall. So we stay alive. Massey rockets it in to second base, and it is not in time. A 2-out double for Tim Search, and we keep on rolling. Here is Ben Auerbach. Sorry that I was kind of in a frantic hurry right there, but... So runner on second. And here is Ben Auerbach. If the inning were to continue after this, A.J. Justice, the catcher, would be the batter. Charlie Copsetta and Xavier Massey are running in. And what's going on here? He and Copsetta both sprinted to the dugout. And Copsetta's now back out there.
Xavier's looking at his hand.
He
He got a cut or something. I don't know.
I think Scott LePayover is going to come over there and I mean, he was up against the fence, so it's not entirely unprecedented. I mean, he was sprinting to the dugout, though, so we're going to have a change here. Because there's only one out left, then hopefully there's one out left. Then it means that if don't risk yourself putting it out there. So what's going to happen is that Jack Dempsey will move to second base. Sean Driscoll will move to left field, the first time that he's played this all year, and Charlie Copsetta will play center field. I don't think it will affect much, but hey, in a 10-0 ball game, why risk it? I believe he must have gotten a cut or something on his left hand.
He might have jammed it into the fence too.
Well, let's hold that thought as there's a fly ball down the right field line that goes foul. It's 0-1. 0-1 to Ben Auerbach. So honestly hoping that Xavier is okay. It's not on his throwing hand. It was on his left hand that he was, if my memory is correct, that's what he was pointing to. And that's what he was wincing at. The 0-1. In the dirt. Oh, going to third and then going back to second and having to retreat his search. It's 1-1. Ground ball to short, throw to first, ball game. Oh, we're going to have an outfield celebration. Sans Massey? Yeah, there we go. Well, everybody's going to meet at home plate, and we're going to hightail it out of here. The final score today, Collingswood 0. Audubon, I don't know why I said Haddon. Audubon 10. Speaking of 10, that's 10 straight wins for the Green Wave. They look to repeat it tomorrow versus Cinnaminson. Same time, same place. From everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we'll see you next time. 10-0, Green Wave win this one.